What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Block is Hot. In this episode, we have none other than Cardanothor coming on today to talk about his new project, CT793. Now, I'm actually super excited to talk about this project, and I absolutely love having Cardanothor on because he's honestly just a really great guy and makes a lot of great content in the space. And with this project that he's releasing, he actually has some really awesome ideas when it comes to the utility side of thing, as well as when it comes to the art side of thing. But yeah, let's just get into this, man. What's up, Cardanothor? Did you want to introduce yourself to the block today?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm Cardanothor. I make Cardano NFT content like yourself. I've been in the space for over a year now. I have my Wad community, which is 1 year anniversary to CNFT Con here in a little bit. And yeah, I've been focusing on CT793 over the past few months, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Nice, nice. Now, what exactly is CT793? Can you do like a general breakdown of what you're trying to build here?
Yeah, for sure. And I wrote a little overview in the Block Investment Group Discord server in my place. Shameless plug today for those that want to check that out. But it's a membership token that is going to give you some benefits. It started as a small idea, right? Like I wanted to give something back to my supporters that were, subscribing to my channel. Like instead of asking people to donate or set up a Patreon or anything, I want to give them something back that was more than just, a badge. So create that is actually going to be of value. That idea grew, and so did the Viking Squad. And now I have this concept of CT793, which is a membership token. And when you become a member, when you hold one of these, you become a member of the CT793, obviously. Access to the community side of things. It's going to be alpha channels, Discord roles, and there are going to be some fun events, things like that. You get access to the utility side of things. We have the Viking Horde investment fund. We have whitelist spots, exclusive whitelist spots, discounts to some CNFT services, and other benefits like tangible benefits like that. And then the core of it is, it's about the community, right? The utility is nice, but it's at the end of the day, it's about the community and about supporting independent content. When you are a member, you're supporting me and what I do. So I don't take sponsorships to shill CNFT projects. That's always been my policy. But it means that, I don't get any ADA. So this is a way to be self-sustainable and to be able to be completely independent and like honest with my opinion. So supporting that as well. And then my passion project and my ultimate goal, which is to bring talented artists to the space. You are also getting into that, and you're going to be getting, whitelist spots for every drop that I help bring to Cardano. So and airdrops and so there are a lot. These three dimensions, I guess, are the main reasons why you might want to be a member.
Nice. Now, what exactly do these look like? And what's kind of the story behind the whole design of it? And I guess what's the whole story behind it?
Yeah, I don't know if I can share my screen, but we nerded out a little bit when it came to the design. I am Cardanothor. I was born and raised in Iceland. Raised with sagas about my forefathers, and I've always been interested in Viking culture, Viking history. So we nerded out a little bit when it came to the design, and spent a lot of time on it. But we didn't do it just for fun. We also wanted to make sure that we kind of showed people, hey, whatever we do, we're going to put thought into it, right? And we're going to do it properly. So yeah, can I share my screen on here? Let me try
You
doing that
should
right
be able
now.
to.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
So
Sweet.
there it is. Okay. So you should be able to see my screen right here. And this is the Viking paper, or the white paper that that is online, cardanothor.com/CT793 if you want to check it out, or hop into the Viking Squad server. You'll find a link there. But this is the design. We have the back of the token. We have Vegvísir. This is an Icelandic magical stave that guides people through rough waters. We have the ship. We thought a lot about what is going to be the main symbol for the token. And we went with the ship because the Vikings, they have a bad reputation. They are known for raping and pillaging, right? But they were so much more than that. They only went berserk when they really needed to. And trust me, they can't go berserk. And I think we're going to do that on Monday. But we went with the ship because that was their true, like, biggest strength. The long ship was the most OP weapon that the Vikings had. It made them so agile, and they were all about exploring, right? The Vikings discovered, they were the first to discover North America, you know? So we are exploring Cardano. We are exploring Cardano NFTs. So I thought, and my artist, we thought this was the perfect symbol. We have the arm ring representing an unbreakable. We have blue, obviously Cardano color, but also representing cracked ice and breaking through barriers. And then we have some mythological creatures here, Fenrir and Jörmundargandur, representing land and sea. So this is the design. And then we could talk a little bit about rarity. I don't know if that makes sense next.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we have 5 different tokens, 5 different tiers, if you will. Threat means slave, to Aesir, which means the gods. And they represent different tiers in, like, Viking culture, Viking society, like different, the hierarchy, right? And they're all made from different metals or materials. We got bronze, silver, gold. Cardano and Sunstone are going to be revealed on Monday at mint. So should be fun to see him minting. Sunstone, if you don't know, it's a mythical Icelandic crystal that allowed the Vikings to navigate when it was overcast, right? They would normally use the sun to navigate. So when it was overcast, people would get lost at sea. But according to legend, the Sunstone allowed the Vikings, specifically Icelandic Vikings, to navigate when it was overcast. So only 13 of the Sunstone tokens. And if you collect all 5, if you're a crazy collector, like some of us, a complete degen, then you could earn a collector's trophy with a maximum supply, obviously, of 13 as well, probably less. So yeah, that's a little bit about the tokens.
Wow, I actually really like the idea of being able to collect them all together, have that whole collectability aspect. So now, essentially, you're going to have these 5 different metal types like bronze, silver, gold, and then the page below this were the different designs that they could have, or are they all going to have the main ship one?
Yeah, they're all going to have the same basic design. This is just kind of explaining each element of the design, and then so what's going to be different for each token, because these are NFTs, they're non-fungible. Obviously, the type that we're seeing here, and then the metadata is going to have some variety as well, and not all of it has been revealed, so that's another thing to look for. And I can't say now, I haven't talked about it much, but I might as well tell you that they're also going to have audio. Going to have some audio that was specifically made for the collection that I'm very excited about.
Wow. Now, is there going to be any benefits to owning a more rare one?
Yes. Glad you asked. Yeah, there will be. Most of it has, most of it has not been revealed. That is, we have some plans, and I could talk about, maybe now it's a good time to mention that a part of the community. Like, it's about having fun, right? It's about the utility, yes, but it's also about having fun. And a part of being a Viking is having fun. So we're going to have some cool community events. We're going to develop the Viking Saga, right? That's already being started, developing the Viking Saga. And a part of that saga are certain events, the Viking raids, where you can discover CT793 artifacts, which I think I pulled up here. Is this showing up?
It is.
Okay, so yeah, the artifacts are, you can see them here on JPEG Store. Currently, they only include the whitelist token right now. But these will be discoverable. Also, look out for CNFT Con. There might be something there. So yeah, having a different tier of token is going to give you some advantage. It's gonna have some utility in the Viking ecosystem. Let me just put it that way.
Nice. I see you guys already have a very impressive floor right now too, man.
Yeah. I need to figure out whose this is, because the snapshot is being taken tomorrow. So they should probably delist this one too. But yeah,
dude, they're
pretty
paper handing right now too.
I know,
man.
paper handing.
What are they paper handing this for?
I know. Exactly.
But awesome. Did you want to like go, because your white paper is very detailed, which I really love to see. And I love to see how a lot of this is already being displayed and is already being talked about, because it gives a reason for people to hold more than just hype, right? And that's why I love being able to see these different white papers. Did you want to like go through these different aspects of the project and, you know, how they're going to kind of work together?
Definitely. Yeah. And I agree with you. Like, with CT793, I'm definitely focusing on quality over quantity and like delivery over hype. I mean, I guess it's a cliche, but I don't want to be over promising anything. You know, I am full time in this, so I'm very confident that I'll be able to deliver on this vision. But yeah, so that's the general approach. So yeah, this is the Viking paper, and what you'll find here is some information about like what it is, why we're creating it, and maybe it's a it's a fundamental question that people might have at first. Is like, why CT793? Maybe I should answer that question first of all. CT is for Cardanothor. You know, you've heard of Faha 100. Like, I got some inspiration from that. When I thought about the concept, I thought about communities like the Faha 100, which is very exclusive, right? The 2500 Club, which is an awesome community. And of course, Jelly Cubes. But Jelly Cubes is also like really about utility, right? So I wanted to meet somewhere in the middle there. And I want to find that sweet spot for the Vikings somewhere in the middle to offer something a little bit different, right? Yes, it's tempting to just copy exactly what the Jelly Cubes are, but that wouldn't be fun. So 793, that was the beginning of the Viking Age. That marked the beginning of the Viking Age, when the men from the north raided Lindisfarne in Great Britain. And on Monday, 2022 is going to be the beginning of the NFT Viking Age. So that's kind of the concept. The saga is going to be about Viking culture having been preserved into current and future alternative reality, where we are now entering the metaverse, Web3, as the Vikings. And yeah, that's the basic concept there. I already talked briefly about the benefits, but you can see kind of an overview here. The community whitelist spots, just like uBlock, instead of asking for for ADA payments to help projects get into the space, or give them promotion, I'm going to ask for whitelist spots and for projects that I'm personally interested in and excited about. Giveaways, 20% of royalties are going to go towards member only giveaways, just to have something exciting and fun going on for community members. The investment fund is a big part of the roadmap. It's called the Viking Hoard, and it's going to be the community wallet, and it's going to be funded partially with the CT793 mint, but also majorly by the upcoming future PFP Viking PFP collection. Airdrops from the artist launchpad, because the Vikings are going to be a little bit more focused on the art side of things, like long-term holds, and it's just, yeah, my personal passion has always been kind of on the art side of the spectrum. So I am building this artist launchpad, and the first cohort is kind of in the works, and members, CT793 members, are going to get, whitelist spots and priority and airdrops from every artist that goes through that launchpad, with some possible future utility as well. Discounts and just a bunch of fun community events. So yeah, this is kind of the overview of the utility side of things.
I love it, man. I love it. And it was funny for those listening in that are familiar with Jelly Cubes too, is before this call even started, I was telling Thor how beautiful his niche is in this whole entire space. And I really don't know if there's another person out there that's covering the CNFT world that cares and values the art more than Thor, and being able to build a launch pad to help these different art projects get exposure and also reward your holders is a really important niche that I feel like hasn't really been executed on in the space yet. There hasn't really been that platform that has really just helped promote these different art projects in that way. And to be able to have all of these different whitelists with it as well for people holding the project, I mean, that's something that could be really big.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man, because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Like at the end of the day, it's going to be about like providing real value to artists that really deserve it, right? Been making art for maybe a decade or two, or are exceptionally talented. Like it's going to be for the benefit of everyone, right? So yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. And here, if you still have my screen up, you can see kind of the ecosystem. CT793 is going to be at the center of everything that I'm doing in the space. So it's going to be my content. I'm going to create some premium content for members. There's going to be the artist launchpad that we just talked about, the investment fund, and then the general bigger, greater community of the Viking Squad. So CT793 is going to be right there at the center and going to be the biggest part of that ecosystem. We can talk a little bit more about the Viking Hoard investment fund, and because related to that is the upcoming Viking PFP collection. So that is still in the works. You can see some concept sketches that believe it or not, it's the same artist that designed the tokens. Did these concept sketches.
Wow, really? Okay.
Exactly. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to work with an artist who was already a part of the community, and AC, he is also the biggest nerd when it comes to mythology, Viking culture, and history. So he's just super passionate. So instead of, going outside of the community and commissioning an artist who doesn't really care about what's happening, to create this artwork, I decided it would be more fun, more rewarding to work with AC on this. But this is still in the works, and the plan is for the Viking PFP collection to also have collaborations where we're working with other Cardano NFT artists. So I'm excited about that. That's going to fund the investment hoard, but CT793 members are going to have a bigger stake, if you will, in the investment fund, the Viking Hoard. And then the ultimate goal is to enter the metaverse, right? I'm not promising a metaverse. let's make that clear.
Let's get that. Let's get that out of the way.
We're not building a metaverse, guys. But we want to hang out in one. We want to have headquarters in one. So the plan is to bring your 2D Viking DFB into basically, you see Clay's doing that, right? We're already exploring ways in which to make it easy to create 3D Vikings. And if you are a CT793 member, you'll be able to do this for free or very cheap, right? So basically having a metaverse ready asset to hang out in the metaverse.
Now I'm curious, what are some of the details for those Vikings? Like when are they going to come out? Do you know sort of supply yet? Like, is there any information on that, or is it still pretty low key?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I should mention that the Viking Paper 2.0 is coming out in October, and that's going to have all of the details on the Viking Horde, 2D and 3D collections.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's coming out in late October. So that's something to look out for. So a lot of those details have not been released yet, been focusing on one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely have a lot of ideas and already started kind of putting together that second version of the Viking paper. But yeah, the collection size is not going to exceed 5K. I can at least promise that, but there's some to be determined details as well.
Awesome.
Should we cover? Oh, here you can see one of the airdrops from Pixelato, who is as a member of the Viking, not the Vikings. Well, he is a Viking Squad member, but he's also part of the first cohort of the Artist Launchpad. We're working on an upcoming collection called We Are Boomers. So he is creating these boomers characters, a very unique collection. He's a great designer. But this is the Viking boomer. So this might be me in 20 years. Right?
So about that, like when you guys, so how are those airdrops going to work? Is this whenever you guys partner with a project, they'll make a special one for you guys and airdrop it? How does that work?
Yep, it's basically a requirement to use the Launchpad is to create a special version of their artwork for CT793 members. Yep.
Nice.
Exactly. Some of them, some won't be, won't have the quantity of 793. Some will be raffled off. So I'm not going to promise that each and every artist is going to be an airdrop for everyone, for an infinite amount of time. You know what I mean? So it's going to depend, but yeah, I'm hoping to airdrop as much as we can. It depends on some other factors as well. But yeah, at least every artist will create a unique version for members.
I love that, man. That's a really good idea. It gives like a little bit more of like a special feel to it, like, oh, you had to own one of these CT793 in order to even get one of these airdrops. Like,
I mean,
that's
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it started with a very selfish idea of me, building, I've tried to build my Viking trade collection personally as a collector for a long time. And this is just an extension of that. So if you're a CT793 member, whether you try or not, you are going to have a Viking Viking collection of your own.
That's awesome.
Maybe a little bit about the mint details.
Yeah, what's the breakdown if people are interested in getting into the project? How's this mint going to work?
Well, yes. Well, if you are a part of the Block Investment Group, that's a good place to be, because I think I reserved the most amount of whitelist spots for you and you guys in the Jelly family, but there are only 793 tokens, so it's a very limited supply. So not everyone is going to be able to mint, I believe. If you have a tier 1 whitelist, you are guaranteed a mint. So we're going to be giving some of those away, right? But there are not very many of them, but that mint starts at 7 p.m. No, sorry, 6 p.m. UTC on Monday. If you have a tier 1, you'll be able to mint at 6 p.m. UTC on Monday. And you have a tier 1 if you have one of these Viking horns, or if you have supported me in the past and you have a 500 days of NFTs NFT. So the snapshot is happening on Saturday. So if you have one listed and you want to take advantage of your whitelist, if you want that whitelist, then you're going to have to delist before tomorrow, Saturday. So yeah, so we still are giving some away through giveaways, but other than that, there's not really a chance to be on the tier 1. Then for tier 2, there are actually more. This is a unique approach with the whitelist system or process. Yeah, I'm taking a different approach to whitelist than most projects. So there are more whitelisted people than supply for tier 2. And I wanted to give everyone in the Viking squad who were there before the announcement an opportunity to mint and have priority, because they have been there for no other reason than wanting to be a part of the community. So I wanted to give them first opportunity to be a part of it. But we are also giving some spots away to community members of trusted projects, like projects that I know would be a good fit, like the Block Investment Group. So if you are in the Viking Squad server and you have the Viking role, then you are on tier 2. And you'll be able to mint at 7 p.m. UTC, not a guaranteed mint, but yeah, there are going to be anywhere from maybe 300 to 400 left after tier 1, hopefully, that you'll be able to try to mint. 10% royalties, like I mentioned earlier, 2% will go towards giveaways, stuff like that, and 8% just going back into building the ecosystem. 79.3 ADA per token. I think that pretty much covers it.
Now, so here's my question. So in order to be in tier 1, you either had to be in the Discord for a while, were super active, you have a special role, right? Or
Yep.
you own one of those 500 days, which every time I look at those 500 days, the floor price has gone up. Like,
Yeah.
I like when you pulled it up at 200, I was like, I swear it was at 100, like not even a week ago.
Yeah. I minted them at 20 ADA. So it's been
Wow.
a crazy ride.
Now, so if you mint in that tier 1, you can get one of these NFTs, correct?
Yes.
Are you able to mint again in tier 2 or no?
Yes, actually. Yep. So if you have a tier 1, you will have 2 opportunities to mint before public.
Wow. Yeah,
Exactly.
no, this is cool. And what was this 500 days project? Because I didn't know much about this either. Like, is this mostly a whitelist for this drop? Like, what exactly are these 500 days of Cardano?
Yeah. So I kept it kind of on the down low because this was a personal kind of passion project of mine. Cardanothor. This is not a Viking Squad project. This is Cardanothor. And I'd always, ever since I got into the space, I've always wanted to be able to, go to my wallet, check out an NFT that had a timeline of all the major events that have happened in the history of Cardano NFTs. So I couldn't find it anywhere. So I decided to create it myself. And I spent a lot of time kind of doing some research and putting some of the biggest events in Cardano NFT history on one timeline. So these are the first 500 days. It's going to be an ongoing project. We're going to have another mint at 1,000 days, right? And the goal with this, just a personal goal of mine, all separate really, is to have a website where this timeline is going to be interactive. Anyway, I always like to give back to those who support me. like that, any opportunity that I can find to give back to anyone who supports me for no reason. There was no roadmap for these, no utility promised, blah blah blah. But you know, I've thought this was a perfect way to give back to people who minted anyways, and that's why. And they will have, yes, they will have more utility in the future. But you know me, I don't like to overpromise or make any commitments. But yeah, I'd be very surprised if this will be the only utility of holding these.
Dude, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm looking at this. My first project I ever minted was Chibidango Heroes as well as Planet Pals. And I can actually, and I never remembered when that was. And I can see over here that Planet Pals is on there 5/7. I had minted it around then. I wish that I had paid more attention to CNFTs when I had minted that. I just minted a couple and like held on to it, didn't really pay as much attention. And I'm looking and seeing all these awesome mints between like that I missed out on now.
Yeah, Unsix a little bit later. Aeonium Sky with his first one. Yeah, I could talk about this for a long time.
That's a whole other video.
I know. I still need to make a video. It's been a plan for a while to make a video about history of Cardano NFTs because I'm a nerd. You know, I'm a data and history nerd. So that's just what I like to do.
And you know what's cool is you're going to be able to add your whole CT793 on this in the 1,000 days.
Exactly.
And you just make it bigger than everything else. It's like 75% of the
exactly. I have all the power.
You have all the power.
Yeah.
So I guess essentially to kind of, summarize on, oh, sweet. And then they have the animation. That's sick. So to essentially summarize the project, you're creating a collection, CT793. It stands for Cardanothor 793. And it basically has this whole entire Viking mythology feel to it, which goes off of your whole blood, I guess, of, being, your whole Viking blood and all that, which is honestly really cool. So essentially you're making this collection. It's going to act sort of like a Genesis piece where you might get some benefits in the future Viking mint, where there's going to be a 2D and 3D version, the 3D for metaverse compatibility. But essentially you're going to be able to get these tokens. There's two different tier whitelist. Tier 1 is anyone that's been in the Discord for a while and was actively contributing and got that role, or someone that owns one of your 500 days NFTs, which the snapshot is tomorrow for that. And that 500 days NFT had minted for like 20 ADA, and it was pretty much shows the history of these NFTs. And essentially that is going to be the tier 1. You're going to be able to mint one for 79.3 ADA. Then the tier 2 is going to open up to anyone that was already in the Discord before you even announced the project. And they're essentially going to be able to mint afterwards. However, there's more people whitelisted than NFTs available. So there's a good chance that they might not even get any. And then if for whatever reason it still doesn't sell, you're then going to have most likely a public, but I highly doubt that would ever happen. Now, the actual utility for these are going to be the art launch pad that you're trying to make, which is going to help onboard different art projects. They're going to give whitelist in exchange, as well as a 1-for-1 airdrop to these holders. It might not always be for everyone, but at least some. And then you're also going to have some of the alpha built in, maybe some curated content, the whole entire community aspect, different whitelist, and that sort of thing. Is that pretty much like a good summation of all of it?
A+ student. Like you're a good listener, man. Yeah. You did a much better job than me. So yeah, that's perfect.
Sweet. No, I mean, and like I said, for everyone listening in, and let me, I guess, make us bigger now. For everyone listening in, I am very bullish on this project. And I don't really say that too often because it's always like, oh, like you never know what's going to happen. But I am very confident on Cardanothor. I know that he has the right intentions for the project. He has good ideas. The utility is there. The economics are there. The community is there. The ideas are there. Everything is there for this project. And I can vouch that I know Cardanothor is going to work hard on this and really try to build something awesome. So if you're interested in this project, definitely check it out. It is going, if you aren't already in the Discord, you probably aren't going to be able to get in unless you buy the 500 days by the time I post this, and because the snapshot is about to happen. But I would definitely check this out on JPEG Store too if you aren't able to get in. I'm expecting a lot of them to be diamond holders here, but I really believe there's a need for what they're trying to do here. And like I said, you can trust the founder is going to build out on a lot of these things. So yeah, dude, I'm excited for you, and congratulations for your upcoming drop.
I really appreciate it, man, and thanks again for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And even before we hit the record button, share some ideas, and yeah, to come on and yeah, we're on Monday. Should be fun. The mint is with JPEG Store, by the way. So it they haven't done many before, but there's happening right now, the Drunken Dragon. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing with their system. Just something I forgot to mention.
Nice. Dude, we're going to have a Viking party and at CNFT Con as a celebration.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And one last thing, because I'm a streamer, I stream. On Monday, there's going to be a whole streamathon day. Basically, I'll be streaming all day if you want to stop by on Twitch. My streaming to YouTube as well. Yeah, we're gonna have some giveaway. Just a Viking party basically. So Block, you can stop by anytime.
Sweet, man, sweet. Well, yeah. Was there any last minute things you wanted to say, or?
That was pretty much it. Yeah, I sneaked in a couple of things without you. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, appreciate you coming on, man. And, best of luck to your mint, dude. I'll talk to you later.